And we're back on the front suspension of the Grand Cherokee. You know, standard issue foo bar. Had parts shipping delays, a parts no ship, and then, you know, we had the hurricane come up the western side of the Appalachians. While we fared pretty good, we caught the outer bands. You know, a lot of people didn't. And so, finally getting around to getting stuff back on. You can help your local community, and they hit that. Go help your local community. Be a nice person. So what happened? So we got everything. Got my new CV shafts. They took forever to ship. I don't know why. There was just a delay. Maybe they were coming out of like Illinois. I don't know. It's pre late September, early October union strike. So damned if I know. Anyway, finally got the CV shafts. And Super Pro decided they just weren't shipping my bushings. I'd never had that problem with Super Pro. I don't know what's going on. I'm getting real vague communication back and forth from them. It kind of pisses me off because I've used Super Pro for years and they've always been good bushings and never had a problem ordering from the site. So I don't know. But what I ended up doing was I did not go to the Canadian site. I went with some other ones that were recommended on the forums. They're significantly less expensive, more financially viable for me. And so let's see what we got here. These are the sway bar bushings I ordered. They're like $16.99 on Amazon. Showed up in 2 days. I don't remember the seller or anything, but they are Ramcoa, made in the USA. Ramcoa stuff I noticed over the years. I don't know if it still is, but I won't shake that anymore. Hold on. Camera flippage. Okay, so Ramcoa, over the years I have noticed that when I would get Moog polyurethane bushings for, you know, OE replacement type stuff, they would always show up with the Ramcoa molded cast into them. Never had a problem with them. So I was really happy to see that was on the bushing. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's I always assumed it was a sub-manufacturer, you know, like Moog contracted out to somebody else and that was the manufacturer of it. I've put absolutely in 25, almost 30 years of working parts and whatnot, working cars with parts, selling parts. When I was real young, I've put absolutely 0% effort into figuring out what Ramcoa is. So if you know, leave it in the description. Or the comments, not the description. Leave it in the comments. See what we got working on the Jeep and what's left. Let's see. One set of stuff. Another set of stuff. I did have to go and clean up a wheel stud on both hub assemblies. Just used a square rat tail file and a threading file. If you don't have threading files and actual rethread tools, you should get them and not use tap and die all the time. There's a whole lot of science in that one, but yes, use the appropriate thing for the job. We got new CV shafts. They came with nuts. They did not come with these little washers, so I'll make sure to put those on. We got tie rods in, strut assembly in, upper control arm in. And this is the passenger side, the right hand side. And when you do this side, I have standard suspension, but it does have a few leveling mechanisms, so make sure that you take your leveling rod off. Be real careful with these nuts again, or bolts, because if you just try to get in there and put all the ugga-duggas on it, you will probably rip this tab off, and that's bad. You need the tab, or the tab is desirable, or whatever it happens to be. Put a 90-degree Zerk in there. Up here. So, well, hold on. Let's go back down here. So on this side, I took the inner fender linings out, and the nut for that upper control arm bolt is pretty easy to get to. I used a 1/2 inch ratchet with a deep well socket on it. it's fine. In here, it's a little bit more difficult to get to, but I didn't have to do as much disassembly of everything. The only thing I'm not super happy about is I did not torque those. Just even without the strut assembly in, it was just super hard trying to get my torque wrench into a place to get on it and get effective torque. So I just went until my arms gave out. I did have to be in a weird position on this. I had to like kneel down on that, reach through there to grab the 15, reach around everything. So I pretty much was just making out with the fender the whole time. This one, same thing. If you pull the evap canister doohickey, I can anyway, my skinny little monkey arms, I can get in there and get back there. It's not pretty, and I ended up going down through there. It's not pretty and it's not comfortable, but it does get the job done and works. For those that noticed in the bulk footage, I was having a bit of a trouble getting the rotor off. Yes, the O-ring of doom that holds the rotor to the hub assembly. I'm pointing and not moving the camera properly. The rotor of doom that holds the hub assembly, it was off. The rotor was just rusted to the hub. So I'm gonna turn the bulk camera on. We're gonna start watching me put this back together. Hopefully I can get it done soon. The other thing actually I wasn't happy about with this, you can mark, so this part of the bracket here is slotted for alignment, and you can mark where everything goes, but I could not get properly back here. So in this section, the bracket is not slotted, but the control arm mount is slotted. So I had difficulty with that, and just the result is that this will end up getting towed to the alignment shop. It's not worth trying. I got to get down the highway a good ways to get the alignment shop, and it's just not worth risking it down the highway, and I don't have a trailer to haul it, so that's what it's going to be. All right, on to working. and one side is in and torqued. So these, I'll hold the camera here for a minute, you can pause. Yeah, so those are the torque specs that I could find for the front end on a WK2. This one here kind of threw me for a loop because technically it's the same size bolt as that one. The difference between 66 foot-pounds and 161 foot-pounds is pretty good, and so I torqued it to 162 because it is the, you know, let's look here, 162, lower control arm, rear pivot, vertical bolt and nut assembly. Now, this one here is on the horizontal plane. The one on the opposite side goes up and down, so that's the vertical plane. So that's what I did, but that seems awfully snug. So hopefully when this gets to the alignment shop, they'll, you know, I'll remind them just to double check everything and see what happens. Obviously, these are brand new springs, so when I do get my measurements off the front to see what the spacers do, I expect that to drop by a good ½ inch or so as the springs settle. Shouldn't be substantial settling, but you should expect to see ½ 3/4 of an inch. If you see more than about 3/4 of an inch, I guess pending application and whatnot, I don't know. I'd be concerned, I guess. I'd be keeping a better eye on it. But yeah, I still need to get that on. And then it's time to jump to the other side. But I think I'm going to button all of this up, get the wheel liner, get everything back in 100% before I jump to the other side. So I don't know if I'm doing any more. I don't know what's going on. Let's get back to work. Okay, and the front suspension's complete. Cherokee's back on all four. I have not gotten it to the alignment shop. The soonest appointment I could get from them is like 2 weeks out. So spiders. I'll have to do an update on it as it is, but I'll show you what we got. So, like I say, it's back on all four. It is, I took a measurement of the wheel arch height to compare. It's right about where I want it if I figure for a ½ to 3/4 inch of height loss due to the new front springs settling down. Again, on the rear, I reused the old springs, so they're 130,000 miles, somewhere in that ballpark. I did get more lift out of the rear with the spacer than I was expecting. We'll save that. Once these settle, I'll probably do another walk around video. Basically, with the 1/4 inch front spacers here, plus the new springs instead of the 100 some odd thousand, you know, worn out ones, I'm sitting about an inch and a quarter higher than what I started. Again, you go for settling of the springs, should be ½ 3/4 of an inch. That puts me right at about the ½ inch that I wanted to get. So I'm happy there. I got the new, I got the skid plate on. The new sway bar bushings are there. Again, Super Pro kind of shortchanged me. I was pissed off, but it was nice to see the made in the USA. Other ones, red ones that I put in, got off Amazon. I will link those. And yeah, everything's just ready to go back together, be driven, or not go back together, but get to the alignment shop, be driven, and then figure out how much settling, front, back, side to side, left, right, up, down, top, bottom, diagonal, whatever, but figure all that out. So flipping the camera again. But yeah, might have been overkill, but you know, while all the ball sockets did pass a wiggle test and measurement as per what I go off of, is I'm from Virginia. We do state inspections, and I used to have a state inspection license there years ago. I had all the rule books and everything. I knew people, and so I always just go off of their measurements. And they do wiggle tests, and you know, approximately so many thousandths of movement, and that's what you get. And yeah, these all passed that, but upon taking it apart, you know, there was delamination of bushings. There was dissimilar metal corrosion in bushing sleeves. So while on the front I didn't have turbo whistle, while on the front I did not have the same seize the bolt problem I did in the rear. I did have three pivoting bolts that just weren't pivoting anymore. The center bushing sleeve was starting to disintegrate. They were aluminum, and they were powdering around the steel bolt. And so while they weren't as seized up and not pivoting, they weren't allowing it to pivot properly on the bolt because of that. So that was something that needed to be addressed. And you know, that's what I did. Place everything, get new stuff in there. It'll work. I don't prescribe to that notion that, you know, modern ball joints, yeah, okay, modern ball joints are made different. New stuff is different than old stuff, you know, right? Being attacked by the oak tree. But they're not magic woo-woo beans that never fail. They just try to make them strong enough to fail once you're out of warranty, and fail to a point that you'd be at least not wholly objectioning to, you know, trading it in and getting something new. Basically, we're here to sell cars, people. That's what we're doing. All right. Yeah, I am doing kind of the pole barn look today. It's a relaxing day. And, you know, break out your Hawaiian shirts. It's always fun. But yeah, truck's back on the ground. We'll get it aligned. We will do some riding around, get a few 100 miles on it. Hopefully things settle down. And I'll come back and do measurement walk around in comparison to what it was before, what it is now. See if it rides any better, any worse. Who knows? And, yeah, everybody get out, have fun, have a nice day, and go do something you like.